Today I'm going to introduce you to fetch statements. Every month you have to check that the invoices in your system agree with what is listed on your supplier statements to make sure you pay the correct amount. This can be a very time-consuming task. Fetch statements matches the lines of your supplier statements with all the invoices in your system in less than seconds. It highlights any discrepancies and can email the supplier if you need more information. When you receive an email containing a statement, it needs to make its way into the correct folder so that Fetch can pick it up, either by using email rules or moving it manually. So if we look in the folder that I've just moved those emails to, we'll see them start to disappear as Fetch picks them up. Fetch captures the information on the documents and then shows it here in Fetch statements. So here we can see there are 3 statements to be reconciled from the 3 emails that we sent to Fetch. So we'll work through these to have a look at how it works. Let's look at big data first. So we can see that all of the lines have been reconciled and everything matches. We can see that what we believe we owe big data is the same as what is showing on their statement. If we look in EXO, we can see our invoices here, and these all have a pay status of not released. So with this statement, there's nothing for us to do. Everything matches and we're happy with it. I've got the release invoices on accept tick box checked, and that will set all of those invoices to release so that it's easy to identify the statements that have been checked in EXO later. So I'll accept the statement and close it. In EXO, we can see that the invoices that have just been checked are now set to a pay status of released. So later, it's easy to see which ones have been reconciled. Now we'll have a look at New Zealand Safety Blackwoods. So we can see here that there is one line that has a problem. And if I hover on the validation result, I can see that there is an invoice that appears to be missing. And if we look in EXO at the invoices that we have in the system, we can see that it actually is missing. So we need to ask the supplier to send us this invoice again because somehow it has been missed. So we can email the supplier from within Fetch. I have a template set up to automatically populate my text, but I can change that anytime I want. I'll send this to myself. If there was more than one line here, we would be able to select the lines that we wanted to send in the email. And here's how the invoice looks when the supplier receives it. So we won't accept this statement yet, and we'll write a note so that we can remember what happened and what we're waiting for. We can see the note on the screen here now. So let's go and look at Dove. We've got multiple issues with the Dove statement. We can see the amounts don't match. So we need to figure out why to know what to do next. We might want to check the statement itself to see that all of the information has been picked up correctly. So we can look at the original statement to check it. Everything looks like it's been picked up correctly. So now we'll start working through the issues. This first one, the amount doesn't match the statement line amount. So the statement amount is $156.40. We need to check in EXO to see what we've got in there. And if we find that invoice, we can see that the amount is different, $161. So we would check to confirm that the amount should be $156.40 and then edit the invoice because it was clearly a keying error on our part. So the GST exclusive amount is $136, giving us a total of $156.40. Back in Fetch, we can perform the reconciliation again. And now we see that that error has cleared because the amount on the statement matches the amount on the invoice now. This next error shows that there is an invoice missing. So we need to double check and make sure that that really is the case. There's the line. And it's missing because the date was keyed in incorrectly. So we need to change that. And we can reconcile again. And now that is correct. So we've fixed up our keying errors from when the invoices were entered and found that those 2 lines were mistakes on our end. We can see that the balances are still not matching, and that's because there is one invoice on the statement that we have already paid, So the balance is out by that amount. So we're happy with the statement now and we can accept it. Back on the main screen, we can see the statements that we have already accepted are no longer showing, and we can show them by ticking this box. So at any point, we'll be able to have a look at previously accepted statements if there's anything we want to look at. And this one statement that is waiting to be accepted, we can see that we have sent an email and we're waiting for a reply. We can also see when the email was sent, which is helpful if we need to follow up at some point. So we've looked at a few examples of how fetch statements works so that you can see what a huge time saver it is and how it helps make sure the data in your system is correct. If you'd like more information or you have any questions, please get in touch.